Hey,
Hello.
happy Thanksgiving.
That's right. A little
We,
post Thanksgiving.
yeah, we are recording this having just arrived back home. We did a little bit of a road trip for Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah, we did a little
A
Friendsgiving.
little Friendsgiving. Went and hung out in Reno and Tahoe and Truckee kind of area. And the drive was long, but the stay was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time. And that's kind of how long. So we wanted to talk today about holidays.
Yeah,
So something that comes up a lot in like marriage and can be a point of conflict is how you celebrate holidays.
that and with, um, yeah, how do you create your own rhythm, your own traditions,
Yeah.
while still honoring or maybe, you know, involving your children in past traditions, but also like, yeah, just doing what's best
For your
for
family.
your family.
So a little bit of backstory. We obviously both come from two different families. That's, what makes us not siblings. And um, so your family had a way of doing things. My family is a little bit different than, your family. You have your biological parents are married. And so it's a little bit different because then I had always growing up two Christmases, two Thanksgivings, two everything because my parents are divorced. Um, and so a little bit of backstory.
Therein lies the problem,
Therein lies the problem.
or
So
an issue.
if you're, whether your family dynamics are like ours or not, you, when you get married, each of you comes from a family unit that is used to doing like their traditions for Thanksgiving or for all the holidays, right? Like whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Easter, whether it's whatever, like these family based kind of things. And so I remember at one point when our boys were really little, we I think that so here's where in my mind
Okay, you got
when it hit the breaking point was a Thanksgiving week in which we had not one, not two, but four Thanksgiving dinners to go to, and it was like on a couple of them were like in the afternoon, and so we would like in the it was like at noon and then a two, and then the other ones were like in the evening. And I remember at the end of that day, like our kids were unable, like they were just like spent and crabby, and we were spent and crabby. And I think for me that was like the breaking point of like something's got to give because holidays they stopped being fun. Like they just stopped being fun for me. I would say that was kind of the breaking point. What about you?
Yeah, so you had two sets of traditions, and I had mine, so that's three. For me, I was just along for the ride in the beginning, and I was just like, this is tough, but for me. I don't know if it was necessarily Thanksgiving or Christmas, but it was like we're waking up Christmas morning, basically, you do Christmas presents and all that really quick, and then we were out the door commuting an hour to a family, and then commuting for another hour the other back in the same direction, and then commuting another. It was just there was a lot of car time, and then there
was the juggle too on like whose family gets the day of,
who gets the day of, who gets the morning, who gets the afternoon. It was a lot on the kids, like you said, because kids are pretty awesome, and especially like holidays they love, but it was a lot. Just like we didn't have our own, like that was what bothered me, was like we didn't have our own tradition. Like we didn't even have the opportunity.
Just trying to like blend in with
we were just trying to keep things the way they were and make everyone happy.
I think that was the problem.
Our parents happy, and it was making. I wasn't necessarily happy. I mean, there's good moments, and you're like, oh yeah, that was great, and there's good memories.
Yeah, I mean, you still enjoy hanging out with people. They're still your family, and you love them, and you want to see them.
But it was draining.
Yeah,
it was because it was a lot of driving. It was a lot of juggling with schedules, and then when it was all said and done,
exhausted.
Everybody was exhausted and tired, but also like none of it was us. None of it was like our thing.
What are you looking at right now?
Oh, I thought the patio gate was open, the back gate. I was checking it
Anyway,
out. So it was just exhausting, and it wasn't. I still looked forward to holidays, but it was also like I knew I just had to like it was going to be this long haul of basically like a stamina of being on, and then looking back, like trying to go through like our kids' view, like they're like what are they going to recognize as our tradition as our family of four?
Yeah,
and I couldn't come up with an idea of what they like.
What would
Christmas is
they
travel.
would just be like, we get in the car and go.
Going to visit other people, which could be a great thing too.
It could be, and for some that maybe like if you're happy with that and that's working for you, great. For us, it was not. And I remember then, for me, like I said, I hit that breaking point around Thanksgiving where I was like, I can't keep this up. And I remember then reaching out to a few people and being like, all right, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, like we called the usual suspects.
We were new, so we like
we're like, what how do you manage this? Because this seems unmanageable. And the overarching like the message that I got from the people that I knew were like happily married, the distinction, like the ones that were like actually joyful and happy to be married during the holidays, they all said kind of the same thing, which was you guys need to decide what's important to you as a family. Like, again, like coming back to what you just said, like how do you want your kids to look back on it? How do you want to look back on it? Decide what's important for, like, build your own traditions, and then, invite other people to join. Like, your family can come. Yeah. You can invite other people that way. If you're going to have, like, we're going to start doing, pajamas and open books on Christmas Day, and we're not going to go anywhere on Christmas Day, but boy, you're welcome to pop by.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Or even just saying, hey, like, we would love to spend or do a Christmas celebration with the extended family, but it's not going to be on Christmas Day. It's going to be on a different day because this is going to be something that we decide to do just us. And that was kind of that, like, the advice that I got was like, decide what's important and then do that. And it's not leaving other people out. It's just when you become married, you become something new.
Yeah.
You're building something new.
Yeah. I think, and that's kind of what I wanted in the beginning was taking, the pieces that I enjoyed and building off of those.
Yeah.
And there's still time for family and there's still time for travel and doing that. But like you said, I think it was important that we put what we wanted as a couple and as a young couple to decide what we wanted for our family first.
Yeah.
And sticking to that and making just
yeah,
basically some guardrails, some like
boundaries. Yeah.
And that's what it
and what was really nice is that I will say both of our families did a great job for the most part. There were some who chose to respect our boundaries by just not coming, and then we just didn't see them on Christmas Day, and that's fine. And we would go down like the next weekend or something like that and go hang out. Some were like, yeah, when can we pop by and can we bring breakfast or can we bring, whatever, and wanted to be part of that. And then, like, I feel like they really respected that well when we decided to. But I do think, what advice would you have for somebody? So if they're navigating this, not every family is going to be respectful when you say, hey,
they might be offended.
They might be offended. So what advice would you have for somebody to navigate this with a family that's like my way or the highway kind of family?
Yeah. I mean, I think you got to go into it with your partner and deciding what's important for your, like, you and your partner. And for us, it was what's important for us, but it's also what's important for kids. So if you have kids, what do you want them to remember? Like a loungy, open your gifts and hang out as that, or is it opening gifts and then going outside and having an adventure? Or is it spent, like, coming up with a plan, I guess, and they can be flexible. Like, I know we ended up doing some holiday, like, a Thanksgiving with this family, and then Christmas with this family, like juggling.
We juggled a little bit. Yeah.
So it wasn't all three
Yeah.
families for every single holiday.
Yeah.
Where it had to be this and that, but it also is like, I think the most important part was just boundaries.
Yeah.
Is just determining what do you want,
and how do you want to feel at the end of this? Like, do you want to feel peaceful? Do you want to feel, like how to
yeah,
and what would lead to that feeling? Yeah. And I think when you, like, for me, I remember being really nervous approaching some of my family because my family is, they can be stuck in their ways a little bit, and some of them. But like I said, I was actually pleasantly surprised. Oftentimes I kind of, in my mind, get nervous about it, but then like, it's never as bad as I thought it was going to be to actually have that conversation and say, hey, this is something that is going to be going forward, what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And phrasing it not as like, you guys are awful and you exhaust me, because it's not about that. It's just about like, hey, I want to build something for my family.
Yeah.
So
so we did that. We did that for a while.
Yeah.
Had our own, and it was great.
Yeah.
And then we moved away.
And we got to try again. Like, we got to recreate the wheel.
Yeah. Living in a foreign country.
Yeah.
And, family was always invited, but traveling across the world is tough.
Yeah.
And then that kind of changed into from 2015 for the last 10 years. It's been a decade.
It really did. So it went from
our
hey, quiet morning, we're just gonna I made when we lived in Colorado, it was like I made cinnamon rolls for
homemade cinnamon rolls.
And then we did like presents and breakfast and all of that together, and then we'd get dressed and we'd have, it was always a slow start, and then if we went somewhere after that was fine, but we wanted our slow starts.
Yeah.
And then once we moved to Germany, it was just us.
Yeah. And
so we started traveling.
Yeah, and that became what we did with our time was instead of, our kids were older, and so instead of they still got gifts, but it was more of we were more into like experiences.
More into experiences.
Building like some memorable events and experiences. And that's kind of what we've been doing for the last 10 years. And that's why we ended up in Truckee and Reno for Thanksgiving.
And why we're heading out for Christmas. And
Christmas, we're usually, away as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that we, even if we're not away, like there's been years where we're like, we're just going to go to the mountains and rent a little cabin.
Yeah, we did that.
We did that a couple years ago. Yeah. And so, it's been kind of nice. One of the things, though, that I will say, one of the traditions we started that I have always loved is kind of along those lines of gift giving. But every year we give our kids their gifts, but then they also get money, but not for themselves.
Yeah.
So they get money to give away. So they can choose a charity, they can choose a person, they can choose some, whether a lot of times it's like, I'm going to go give it to this homeless person, or I'm going to go give it to,
or I'm going to buy food and then.
Yeah. Sometimes they've purchased like a few pizzas and drop it off in, like at a shelter.
And they've done that like your friend's organization.
Yeah. They gave to Vision for the Children International one year. They just like gave their money that way. In combined with that year, they also did their like fill a cup. You remember that? And they were asking everybody for spare change.
That's right. Yeah.
So they did that too, and they ended up being able to give like $50, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it's not a ton, but it's like, hey, let's remember that like there are people less fortunate, and let's
there's a reason
keep that
for the
in
holiday.
Yeah,
it's
like keep that in mind, is that we want to like
get.
share. Yeah, it's not just what we get; it's what we give.
Yeah, and there's a deeper meaning behind all the holidays, whether you're religious or not, and just to think on that, like, what is the purpose, and not the selfish consumerism type of piece, which we're all guilty of it at times. But
yeah, and I mean, we, and like you said, we still gave and we still give presents. It's just that's not the, like, we give a small amount of presents, and then the big present is usually a travel.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been years that the boys have taken the money too that we've given them and taken it overseas to give to somebody, which is kind of cool. Wherever we're traveling to, they're like, I'm going to find somebody there that needs it. There was one year that they bought, we discovered that there was a man going to our church who had been living on in a tent, and they went and bought him like warm things for the winter or whatever, like blanket and stuff like that, and gifted that to him. So that's something that I really have loved as a parent, is just like giving them something that they then have to give away.
Yeah.
To remind them. So, but there's lots of things that you could do.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, a little change, but it's not only that, but like, I know other traditions that we've done is like food is not always the traditional food.
Yeah. Like we've done tamales.
Yeah. So like growing up on my side, it was depending on where we were.
Tyler's family was always the best to go to for Thanksgiving.
If I went to my mom's side or my dad's side.
I'm sorry, dad's side, but mom's side, enchiladas. And,
yeah, so it was either, my dad's side was turkey or ham on Christmas or Thanksgiving, which is great.
Yeah,
the good things. And then mom's side was sometimes turkey, but sometimes it was tamales.
A lot of times it was like turkey with all those things.
Yeah, it was like the Hispanic flair. So, and I enjoyed that. And those are things that we have also done. We've made tamales and.
Last year we made pumpkin tamales.
Yeah, so
they were pretty good.
We've changed the food up because it's,
Yeah, this year we had appetizers.
Yeah, we just had all the side dishes
is what it was. It was a side dish Thanksgiving, which I really liked.
Smorgasbord, and it was good.
I like the sides anyway. That's like what you're there for. Like you know.
Yeah, turkey's turkey.
Turkey's turkey, but like give me mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much all the items you can get all the time, but.
Well, yeah, but Thanksgiving there's like extra butter in it or something. I don't know. It tastes better.
Yeah.
So.
It's just like the.
You know what we didn't have?
The combination. What?
That I kind of.
Cranberry sauce?
Yes, I didn't miss in the moment, but now I'm kind of like, I want one. I don't want like the fancy cranberries. I want one slice of the gelatinous can of cranberry.
We've been eating a lot of those like jelly bag things. So when we were in Korea, I fell in love with the jelly bags.
I don't know what they are. They're like I think you pronounce it cognac jelly, and it's. Like,
they're just
it's like a little pouch.
Like the Squeeze-Ems.
That's just like flavored.
Applesauce.
And it's like.
Jelly.
It's like jelly. And I'm ready to make that my whole personality. I love them so much.
Yeah. Big little chunky jelly.
If you ever want to get me something, get me a box of those and I will devour it.
Yeah. So we had those. And
but
Sour
that's not
Patch
cranberry
Kids.
sauce. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, and Sour Patch Kids. It's all.
We did have Sour Patch Kids. Yeah.
That's the closest we got.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I think there's lots of options. We've had trial and error. We've tried different things. We have realized that I can't cook a turkey very well. All my turkeys turn out pretty bad, but like,
I think
if we cook the other stuff, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think trial and error, figure out what works for your family.
We've also gone away from buying, for the most part, each other gifts for Christmas.
That's true.
It's just because we shared the same bank account, and so
like we could anytime just go in and see what the other
so
like a lot of
we have to do it secretly, and then truth be told,
we end up returning it anyway, and
we either stick to a budget of somebody will cave and be like, I bought you a gift.
He's looking at me right now because
and then I'll be like, okay.
Can I confess something?
And then I'll be like,
so
how much range? Give me a range, and then I'll have to go like ask a coworker to buy something for me so it doesn't show up on like any of our accounts. And then I can just be like, here's a Venmo, and then she won't catch on to
a couple of days ago, I fessed up that I bought you a couple of things. Not huge things, just a couple of little things. I did it again last night.
See? And now I have
because I see stuff and I'm like, oh, he would love it.
Yeah.
And it's not that expensive, and so I just like justify it, you know?
It's okay. I love you.
I love you too. It's still not that expensive, I promise.
It's okay.
Okay.
I need some gift ideas, guys.
Jelly. Curry and jelly. Anyway, but yeah, come up with your stuff, you know, figure out how you want to feel. That's the big advice. Like, how do you want it to go?
How do you want to feel when it's done? Like,
Yeah.
when Christmas is over or Thanksgiving's over, and
When you look back, what do you want? Like Tyler
it's
said,
Saturday,
what do you want
Sunday,
your kids to
on
think?
the couch. Yeah.
Yeah. And then do
How do you
that
feel?
and protect your family and your traditions and
Trial and error. If it doesn't
try
work,
different
try
things.
something new.
Yeah.
And it'll change as your kids change as well.
Yeah,
like
as they
their
get older.
ages.
As they get older, their gifts get like not as fun to give and they're really expensive.
Yeah, like the kids are like
I want
They
a
want,
pair
like-
of Jinko jeans.
they want like one thing and it's like $500.
Yeah.
And
So,
you're like, well,
that's not gonna happen.
I'd rather buy you a bunch of Transformers
Here's a
and Legos.
toothbrush.
Yeah.
So, it just is what it is, and roll with it, but create your own. You have permission.
Yeah.
You can
I
blame
think that's
us.
the biggest thing. You have permission to
Yeah.
do you.
And if you are the extended family listening right now, last word, and then we'll let you go. But if you are the extended family, I will say I really, really, really appreciated the family in our lives that not only accepted that we wanted to start our own things, but fully embraced it. And so please don't see it as something that is negative or that
Or
your
push away.
extended family is trying to push away in some way. Like they're trying to build into something that they are, actively in and like building into their lives. And like, I think the best thing you can do to support that is just like show up for them in other, show up for them in other ways. Like if they can't come to yours, please don't make them feel guilty. Or rearrange it. I know that like my mom at one point was like, we can do Christmas a week later. It doesn't matter. Like you guys do your thing. Christmas is the celebration and not just the one day. So, I always really appreciated when family was that way too. So, if you can, encourage them to start those traditions because that is going to be something that that is really important. So that would also be a piece of advice. And I know that that's going to be easier said than done when our own boys decide to do their own thing and but
We'll
anyway.
see how it feels and what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, we're close to that anyway, right? So not with their own families, but they're pushing away.
Yeah.
Dylan spent Thanksgiving with his girlfriend this year. So yeah.
And eventually they'll both be in college. And
So
they're invited, but they also are adults. They can do their thing.
they are adults and we will respect that. Yeah. So, all right, family, love you.
Bye.
Have a good one.